Hey Steve, you still building guitars? Yes. Hey, would you mind building me a Parfitt Replica Telecaster? Okay. Let's have a look. Anyway, that was about 4 months ago. So I just thought I'd put a quick vid up and show you what the finished product looks like. I'm quite pleased with it actually. It's as near as damn it as I can get. You can see it's got all the right marks and things, and that cheeky bridge, we'll come to that in a minute. Of course, if you're a big Rick Parfitt fan, you'll know all about this instrument, but I'll just give you a quick history, a brief history of the build of this beastie. Yeah, the customer wanted a Rick Parfitt rep as close as I could get it, so after a bit of research we found out it wasn't swamp ash, it's baseball bat ash. So I got a two-piece baseball bat ash body, and the CITES regs means that meant that I couldn't actually get a Warmoth, a Warmoth neck, which would have been my first choice. Well, actually my first choice would have been a Musicraft one, but after looking into it, it was going to be prohibitively expensive, so I decided not to do that. And besides, when you actually get a Warmoth neck, you can't actually order it from the States with mother of pearl inlays because it's illegal to ship those into the UK. So I was scuppered really before I started. So anyway, ended up looking online, and there's a chap on eBay selling, funnily enough, a Musicraft neck. It had got the clay dots on it, but fortunately I could get hold of some mother of pearl inlays, so it was a fairly straightforward job, just popping the old ones out, old clay ones out, and putting some new ones in. Most of it's fairly straightforward to put together. You have to get the body grain fill to start with, and then a light coat of primer. Then you have to put a dark blue nitrocellulose lacquer, and then followed by a white one, and then a light tint dusting, and then it's the checkering process begins. That was easy enough, but the real tricky bit was that damn bridge. Whoa! Of course, if you're in the know, you'll know that's all to do with is it a Les Paul student? Is it a junior? Is it on Rick Parfitt's guitar? So we had to get one of those, and then do all sorts of trickery pokery to it, filing and what have you, to get the intonation right and the height right, the action right on it, because initially when you screw it down the body, it's far too high. So I ended up having the bottom, if you like, the bottom flange of those standard studs machined off, and then we screwed it directly down to the body. And I've got some shims, so the owner can actually adjust the action to how he wants it. So I've got some 0.1mm stainless steel shim, so he can adjust it how he wants it. You can just see that a bit better now, so you can see just about make out the shims underneath. So the bridge actually isn't resting on the body, it's resting on the shims, and it's the shims that are on the body. Also, there's all sorts of little details, like it is actually on at a jaunty angle. I think you probably just make out the strings aren't quite lining up going through the holes. It's supposed to be about 2 or 3 millimeters out, which I think is quite cute. It's all in the detail. There's the famous Lego tyre. 2 pages in the Lego catalogue. What else have we got on it? Oh yeah, brass neck pickup cover. Although it does look gold, although I couldn't see any references to it actually ever being gold. on the guitar, so I'm assuming it was brass and all the nickel plating's worn off. What else have we got on it? Oh yeah, so as you know, it's a white pickguard with a black vinyl covering on it, which is worn over the years. These knobs from Armadillo in the States cost an arm and a leg, but God, they are absolutely gorgeous. And then unfortunately I had to go through the aging process. Oh well, never mind. On the other side here, I see some more checking, just about make out that checking detail on there, he says, if you squint. And there's the details of the jack socket. Let's get a bit more light on it, there we go. On at a suitably jaunty angle. And of course the back, nicely aged. Number is correct on the back, all super anal retentive. Can you see that? God. Cheap camera. I can show you that is the right number on it. Clues on machines, very nice. And to finish it off, the pickups are from Creamery, wound to what we believe is the Parfitt original specification. Well, to really round it off, we've got the Jim Dunlop red picks in there with a bit of dimple action. Bit of dimple action on there to act as a bit of purchase on it, so it doesn't go flying out of your hands. I've really enjoyed doing this actually, but when you plug it in, it is a monster. It's strung with 11 gauge strings, and okay, the action's not as low as you'd expect on, you know, like a Music Man or Charvel Guthrie Govan or anything like that, but that's not the nature of the beast. So it's low-ish. I wouldn't say it was medium, I'd say it was lowish, but it's got a seriously good thrang. But actually I really love that, looking at it, that rosewood fingerboard. Really, it's a really lovely dark one without it being the proverbial panda skin hat that is Brazilian rosewood. Anyway, I hope you found that interesting. Hopefully in a few months' time I'll try my hand at a Jacko Pastorius jazz bass with an epoxy fingerboard. Now that'll be fun. Okay, thanks for watching. See you next time.